a case study by LexisNexis. They're also the sponsors for the event. And in case if you have any questions after the case study, please reach out to the exhibition booth. Ms. Chloe Wong will be there to address all the queries and the concerns. Meanwhile, I would like to invite our speaker, Ms. Sharon Yap, Head of Product Southeast Asia, LexisNexis, and the topic that she is going to discuss is Uncover Efficiency in Corporate Legal Work. Please give her a big hand.
Good afternoon to all. I hope you had a fantastic networking during lunch. As the myriad of topics that cross an in-house counsel's desk continues to grow, expertise in each of these areas is simply not possible, where it might cover data protection all the way to competition law. We're seeing an irreversible trend. As workload and complexities evolve, so does the approach to legal research. This is true of corporate teams, often very lean and without the support of paralegals. At LexisNexis, our business is centered around advancing the rule of law through technology to help you drive efficiencies. So why practical guidance? This is a product that I'm going to do a demo of. ATT, which is a customer of Practical Guidance, is a Singapore-based systems integrator. Its business expands to systems security, enterprise information management systems, and software development. Its legal team is headed by Mr. Kama, who is the legal and contracts manager. First and foremost, his role requires providing accurate legal advice while managing external legal costs. Especially during the pandemic, his team had to work very closely with the operations division in rolling out COVID-safe measures. This meant ensuring that all staff clearly understood and engaged with legal concepts in accessible terms. In choosing a solution, ATT's imperative was a criteria of having an accurate and localized and contemporary solution. And LexisNexis Practical Guidance ticked every box as a structured platform that gave him access to practical know-how written by a panel of law firms. ATT continues to turn to Lexis Practical Guidance for three key reasons. First, its precedent templates. The broad database of agreement templates serves not only to save time, but also to provide the perspective and priorities of the other party, and allows the team to plan ahead and navigate accordingly. Second, the checklist and flowcharts. As an ISO-certified company, ATT wanted a starting point for formulating policies and maintaining compliance, which is very valuable, as it prides itself in customizable solutions that meet the needs of its clients. And last but not least, every document on the service is flagged with the currency status so that you know what you're reading is still good law or has just been updated. The difference using the solution was apparent. Even when ATT engaged external counsel, using the solution put them in a position to prepare and present the matter and the materials seamlessly, a difference that did not go unnoticed by their own external counsel. Besides ATT, other captains of the legal industry, from fintech companies to law firms, attest to the benefits of using Practical Guidance as a source that covers broad spectrums of practice areas with a practical approach. The Singapore-German Chamber of Commerce, for example, regards the precedents as a good aggregator of content from various law firms. Customers take comfort and confidence that what they're reading is legally reviewed and expertly written by over 600 lawyers for our Singapore and Malaysia services of Practical Guidance. So what is exactly Practical Guidance? Let's segue into the product showcase right away. this is the homepage of practical guidance. It is an intuitive interface. In the drop-down, you would be able to see 9 practice areas under Singapore, and there are 9 practice areas for Hong Kong. Malaysia, there are 4, and we are developing new modules on Indonesia. For illustration purposes, we are in the commercial module of Singapore. You're presented with a topic tree that is issues-based. Expand to see all topics of commercial law, as well as the subtopic. At the bottom of the homepage, you will see the contributors and the authors who are experts in their legal field. These are the firms and the authors who have contributed to Lexis Practical Guidance. So Lexis Practical Guidance is a collection of practice notes, precedents, templates, checklists, and flowcharts that help to drive efficiency for lawyers. Supposing that you wanted to look at a topic on information technology, internet and e-commerce. You're presented with different content types, from practice notes to cases, checklists, and flowcharts, etc. An overview would give you a concise summary of the topic, while going into a practice note like so would give you a step-by-step guidance to handling legal matters from start to finish. Let's go into a practice note, for example. Practice note number 5, meta tags and Google AdWords. What are the legal issues? So in this practice note that's written by RHT Law, it says that the currency status is maintained, so you can be assured that this is still current. As you go down the practice note, you would see it is done in bullet points, which are concise, and good for giving an overview of the topic. On the right-hand side, there are links where you can click in, and that gives you a case citation if you are so inclined to read. And in this case, it is Wilson versus Yahoo UK. So all throughout the practice notes, you have these column links to click into, where you can jump into further reading. Going back through your breadcrumb trail, we present the precedents content type. So these templates are exclusively written for Singapore context, rather than globally UK or US-centric templates. There are a wide variety of templates for drafting agreements, which can cover different positions, for example, pro-buyer or pro-seller, or a balanced approach, as well as long and short-form templates. So just going into one of them for an example, assignment of intellectual property rights in relation to a website. So this is a typical template that you might use to localize for your own use. On the right-hand side, again, there is a link. These are called drafting notes. The first drafting note always explains the appropriate use of the template, so that to make sure you start your drafting process on a correct footing. And just going to the end of the note, I'm going to read a short passage to say this precedent assumes that all parties are in Singapore and only Singapore rights are being transferred, etc. So this is definitely curated and localized for the Singapore context. And further down, you'd see each clause or each subclause also having drafting notes to cover the exclusions or inclusions and to guard against any common pitfalls. So moving on from here, we're going to have a look at a checklist. So checklists are useful after a precedent has been drafted, so that you know you have covered all your legal bases, as well as you might have filed all the proper documentation required for your legal process. So moving on from there, what a legal counsel might then do as a last step would be to go to a flowchart just to make sure that they've done all the correct steps. So in this example, there's an IT procurement lifecycle flowchart that was preloaded. And looking at the flowchart itself, this is an easy-to-read guidance in point form, as well as it gives you a visual explanation of complex legal procedures. Okay. With that, I've come to the last point of the walkthrough for Lexis Practical Guidance. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't be shy, come and see us. We've got a booth at the end of the room. Thank you for your attention, and thanks for listening.